What's going on, gamers? So we have a new interview that just popped up from the PlayStation CEO, Herman Host in the West, who, by the way, I have not been a big fan of because he's the one that greenlit Concord and a lot of other things that are just not doing as well. The only thing other than that he greenlit, but it was already an IP and it's a second party game, is Helldivers, and that's doing well thanks to the PC community first and foremost. So if Sony would have kept that on PlayStation, we wouldn't have seen those results. But they made dumb decisions after that too, by almost killing the game a couple of times. But getting back on topic, pretty much still on topic, he says that the PlayStation are looking at opportunities to leverage its legacy IPs. Yeah, let's hope so. The numerous IPs that we hold are an important asset for PlayStation, and as part of our efforts to strengthen our portfolio, not only developing new franchises, we're also continually looking at opportunities to leverage our legacy IPs. Okay, so first and foremost, that sounds good, but ever since this guy got in lead and then Jim Ryan left prior to that, the leadership this generation has not been good for PlayStation. It's been disappointing. They're blowing like 2.5 years away. The last 2 years you only had Spider-Man and Astrobot as the main AAA first-party IPs from PlayStation. You know what I mean? And it's like when you think about that, it's like, how long does it take for you to beat Astrobot? You can do one sitting and beat it. It's like a 10-hour game. If you want a 100%, it's like 14 hours or whatever. That's not that long. If you're gonna wait that long for something. And Spider-Man, yeah, you can spend more time with Spider-Man, but you can spend a week with that and you're done. If you want to spend that much time with it. If you plan on getting a platinum and 100%ing everything, like I usually 100% all PlayStation games get the platinum. So I'm like 54 right now or whatever. And I just haven't been playing a lot lately because I just don't see the point. I've been on my PC a lot. And I'll definitely be playing Nintendo Switch 2 a lot next year too and continuing on my PC as well and using Game Pass on my PC. But my thing with Sony this generation is like they had the opportunities to bring back legacy IPs from the PS3 generation that could have been very well in this 2 year or 2.5 year gap that they're blowing things away. We could have had a Killzone remake. We could have had a Resistance remake or sequels to those. They had Mag, they had Warhawk. You got the Jack and Dexter series, the Sly Scooper series. You got Siphon Filter, which Sony Ben used to make. Um, I mean, when you take a look at their portfolio, I think Bloodworm would probably be next gen. But you could have, did a 4K 60 frames patch for that. It's like they don't make efforts to like do a lot of things. Backwards compatibility could have been better, where the PS3 games could have been getting that type of support that it needed, but they're going to make excuses for that. I watched a video showing that up-to-date cell phone out today could do that very fine. But they're not giving PlayStation users that. Yes, they've made some department jumps in the backwards compatibility thanks to Microsoft, who's had that for 2 generations now. But if you look at the leadership decision at the beginning when you said you were going to be launching PS5 from the ground up, meaning that the games on PS5 were going to be from the ground up, you didn't do that. You went cross-gen like Microsoft did. Though people were bashing them for that. You put your games at $69.99. It should have never been $69.99. Your PS Now service was trash for the longest, and you finally saw how good Game Pass was doing, so you swapped to that. Another thing that Microsoft was doing, and then you improved your cloud like Microsoft is doing. You see what I'm saying? They're using a lot of their methods, and then like you had Jim Ryan and a lot of these other people gaslight all these gas rush titles and canceled a bit of them. Naughty Dog missed their whole game for the generation, canceled that, and now they're coming out with that abysmal looking character in that one game. And I'll get back to that in a second. The problem with that is that you should just give people a hairstyle option, and I think that could be better. Then you launch Concord, which has been abysmal, and then you launched a $700 console, which is not doing well either. And there's just too many gaps in your first party games, and then you're still locking games and playing that game. So it's not really looking good, you know what I mean? So when I see you say something, I'm like, yeah, I want to see you actually like put that in effect because the choices that you guys have been making lately, and then we got this Fair game coming out. It's going to be another Concord. If y'all don't know, this guy's the CEO of Sony. Right here. Let me show you guys. If they launch this, it's going to fail. It's another one of those Concord type games. Right? Sony's publishing this. This is another Gas Rush title by Haven Interactive Studios. Don't launch it, remake it, and it's supposed to target the modern audience. Oh boy. Yeah, guys, if they come out with this, I don't know what to tell you. So yeah, who's saying that? The leaders. You know what I mean? Let's go over. Let's go down these comments real quick. If we look down right here too, another funny thing is, look at what this guy says. His track record hasn't been great since taking over. IP is important, but then sells Death Stranding. Then there's Concord, Fair Game, Bungie. Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about Bungie too, right? Ever since they acquired Bungie, what has Bungie done for them? Destiny 2 is not doing amazing. We had that good expansion, but the game was already so like played out. It's like, what? Then you launch Marathon? Who wants Marathon? You know what I mean? And nobody said anything about it. That's not just, you know what I mean? It's just that Bungie acquisition, the amount of money you spent, it's not looking too well. Microsoft's acquisitions are looking very good and producing amazing results. I haven't seen anything from Bungie. What are you doing? You're losing more staff. You're now putting Bungie into PlayStation Studios, and Bungie is slowly dying, by the way. They had to do a lot of layoffs this year, too, at Bungie. So, yeah, I don't know. The leadership is looking pretty weak if we think about it. We are continuing looking at opportunities to leverage our legacy IP. Last of Us 1 Remaster, Last of Us 1 Remake, Last of Us 2 Remaster, then all PC versions, Uncharted 4, Legacy Remaster, then putting it on PC, porting out, like you said, porting out on PC, Uncharted Trilogy Remaster, then after Sold 1 again, Horizon Remaster, Horizon Forbidden Remaster, Spider-Man Remaster again, Until Dawn Remake, and then like when you're looking at it, you're just like, what are you doing? Why are you not giving us unique IPs that were on PS3? You know what I mean? And even some like on PS2 that you could remake from the ground up. There's a lot of good games out there. And I just feel like that the leadership is just like, what are you doing? They're losing their way. And I think even I've had a lot of PlayStation fans even come to me recently in my YouTube comments. So there's ponies, but PlayStation fans are different and people who just love gaming. They're even saying they're disappointed. And they say this, they feel the same way because it's like when you played on PS3, when you played on PS2, when you played on PS1, there was like this fun factor, to some of the games they had. You know what I mean? And this generation, it just doesn't feel like that. They're being too distracted with political correctness and all this other nonsense, and they need to get back to gaming. And you have a lot of people thinking that PlayStation is better than Xbox. And it's like, not this generation, not really, no. The only thing that Sony has going for it is what they've always had going for it, just selling devices. They've always been good at selling hardware, even all the way back to the Sony Walkman in the 90s. But when we talk about first party, when we talk about development, top tier quality, not consistency, like Nintendo does, not even close. Services, consumer friendly, they're not doing that. They're actually being anti-consumer. They're dumping on their base and they're still kissing their ass. It's just not as good as they could be. They could be a lot better. So here's some of the interview. Our extensive IP portfolio is an important asset for PlayStation, and as part of our efforts to strengthen our portfolio, we continually explore opportunities to leverage our legacy IPs as well as develop new franchises, as we saw that. But the new IPs that you're showing are trash. They have not done well. In 2024, Teen Ninja's Rise of Ronin and Shipped Up Stellar Blade was released one after another. That's not their IPs, though. As well received. When PlayStation Studios has a strong development capability, why is it that they are actively working with these external studios? Creativity and great games come from everywhere. We develop content with PlayStation Studios, but we also actively collaborate with external development studios. Let me fix that. We also actively want to pay them to lock games away from other platforms so we can boost our ego because we're not creative enough in-house like Nintendo. And Microsoft is better at monopolizing than us. And they have more money. It is important to have a wide variety of games in our portfolio that can be enjoyed by all types of players. To provide fresh joy and experiences to PlayStation players, we're constantly reviewing the context of our portfolio, considering expanding the genres that are in demand and introducing new types of games. Oh, we saw the Nintendo clone success, so yeah, let's go ahead and expand on that again because we, snubbed the Game of the Year awards with that. And, also awards over better games that take 50 to 60 hours and 40 hours of amazing direction from the ground up. Like, Black Myth Wukong, Final Fantasy VII, Rebirth, Metaphor. Think about, think about this too, guys. They gave Best Director direction to Astroline at the Game Awards. We all know Geoff Keighley is an ass kisser and he's full of shit. How is a game that's only 10 hours long, where Mario made most of the game and it just has so much Mario all over it, they even admitted that, is with no voice acting, no text, no like amazing direction needed for every single scene, with all those different writing and characters like you would see in a Final Fantasy game, and Wukong with all these different, like, you know what I mean, histories and lores and mythologies. Like, it takes way more skill and work to like direct all of that for like 40 to 50 hours. And they even give you like 70 to 80 hours of content if you want to play more in those games. All that voice acting, all that music for every scene, all the gameplay, all the text and dialogue, all the character designs, all the animations, like to direct all that. And you mean to tell me that game won Best Direction? Like, get the fuck out of here. It's garbage. That is garbage. I'm not saying Astrobot's a garbage game, but I mean, that's baloney. Sony baloney. Okay. So going down here, like Helldivers 2, there are titles that have been released simultaneously on PlayStation 5 and PC and become huge hits. How do you plan to balance the PlayStation 5 business with the PC development in the future? Live service titles are released on multiple platforms. You mean just PlayStation and PC? So attracting new players and increasing the number of players is key to their success. Therefore, maintaining the momentum at the time of release and penetrating a wide range of players is especially important in the live service field. So when you think about the live service route that they're trying to go, they're saying that they have to have PC day one. And that, you know, I think that will target Nintendo Switch too, to be honest with you, to expand their portfolio to the Japanese base too. And then I think eventually, with the way leaderships are going, if they don't put games on Xbox, Microsoft will find that route through putting Steam on Xbox as well. I find that to be very believable. He says, we always prioritize providing the best experience to our players, and as part of that, we're also promoting the linking of PSN accounts on PC. See, that's the thing. A lot of people are going to get annoyed with that on PC, though you link a lot of other stuff, but there's some people that just don't like Sony and they don't like being forced to link, but Sony wants to increase their numbers like Microsoft is doing, so they're not going to back down with that. He's making that quite clear. We saw what happened with the Helldivers situation. I don't think they're going to change that. They're just going to try to find a way to make you like their game so much that you're going to link it. And they're like, we're already putting it on PC. I mean, you sign into everything else. Motorstorm is good too. I'll believe it when I see it. They need to lean into some AA gaming for the older IPs. They just have so much doing nothing. Agreed. And that's what I'm saying. Like, they have a lot of like IPs in front of them. You see they're just doing this nonsense. It's like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? So that's what he had to say about this. And then, like, you see what people are saying, empty words until we see some actual action on any of these things, Herman. He basically just gave the standard business boilerplate. We're not doing those things, not an answer to all three questions. That's what I'm saying. Like, it just feels like PR and you're saying that to sound good. And maybe you may be doing some things, but you need to get with it quick. Because the Switch 2's around the corner and they're about to dominate and take over. And you had the opportunity to dominate these last 2.5 years and you didn't capture it. And Microsoft will gain momentum and do better going into the next console. And they're doing well everywhere else besides hardware, but they need to find a method for that. But, you know, hurry up and confirm a full remake of the Resistance trilogy. I know that'd be a nice Sci-Fi Filter remake. I was saying the same thing there. So more 70-pound remasters. Yeah, I know, right? I don't know what they're thinking. But, you know, we see the comments here. And then, you know, a lot of people are saying the same thing where it's like, you know, fake the old IPs, have actual gameplay. Sony doesn't like that anymore. Yeah, movie rush games, right? Tell me about it. Ape Escape, that's another really good series right there. But, yeah, you know, people are disappointed. SOCOM, yeah, that's another IP. But we get the idea here. Like, that's why I kind of wanted to highlight this interview and kind of just say that so far I feel like the PlayStation leads are like a bit lost. They don't know what they're doing, and it's disappointing, and they need to step it up. And a lot of people feel the same way. Even if you don't have a PlayStation, you can see that. This is the weakest generation Sony has had, if you ask me. And they have more technology and money than ever. That's what I love about the gaming industry. Even if you have all that, if you don't know what you're doing, it shows. You can't just come in there and buy your way and just think you can reach the top. It doesn't work that way. All right, y'all. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what y'all think. Ponies, relax. Later.